When I tell people my dad does these races at the age of 85, I get a lot of questions. What does he eat? Does he sleep? Are these races safe for someone that age? But the number one question I get is why? Introduce yourself, your name, and where you were born.
Jimmie J. Barnes, born in Archer City, Texas on June 23rd, 1938. My family moved to Maud, Oklahoma when I was 1 year old. And I attended school there until I graduated high school in 1956. I joined the Marine Corps in 1957 at the age of 19, and at that time my mother had to sign the papers for me to get in. My stepfather told me never to get married the first time. He'd been married 5 times. He said, never get married the first time until you're 30. So I got married the May before I was 30. Allison was born in 1970. Jenny was born 11 months later. On my first Father's Day, I had 2 daughters, and they weren't twins. And then Susanna, born in 76.
When did you find out about Sandy's diagnosis?
They didn't know what it was for a year or so, and then they finally figured out it was kidney cancer. But it had metastasized that time to her back and her sternum. She had to have her sternum removed. And then it metastasized to her back, paralyzed from the waist down for a while. And then she died 10 days before Christmas.
I called the service station and I said, hi, I'm Jenny's stepmom, and we've heard that she was in an accident, and I just wanted to find out about it. And the person on the other end of the phone was just silent. He said, yes, there was an accident, and I said, was it bad? And he said it was very bad.
I think when someone is 16 and that age, when they have their whole life ahead of them, I think it evokes a different level of grief. And I've, to this day, never seen anything like it. Talk about Jenny at all?
Yeah, it's okay. And then Jenny passed, and I'd signed up for this race to run the Twin Cities Marathon, and she passed away in September. And I wasn't going to run it. And these good friends said, yeah, why don't you come in and run it? It'll do you good. You know, it's just a few weeks after, a week or so after. I said, okay, we'll go run it. So I went up there and ran it with them. And I thought, well, this helps some. And I said, I think I'll run one of these every month.
My dad started running as a way to deal with the grief. So he started running a marathon every month for 30 months. And then when he got to the end of those 30 months, there were no more marathons to run.
You couldn't find marathons every month back in there. There just weren't that many of them around. So I started doing ultra marathons too.
My name is Rebecca Barnes. I am Jim's youngest daughter. I will be his race crew in his upcoming 48-hour World Championship. And I have run 13, 14 marathons and 5 ultras. An ultra is defined as anything over 26.2 miles. My dad and I have done probably 10 marathons together and I think 4 ultras together.
You want to take a tour of this lap around the neighborhood where I ran 1,000 miles
Sure.
one summer during the COVID?
How long did that take you?
I did it about 2 months, I think.
2 months, 1,000 miles.
Did 666 miles the first month.
For him, running 100 miles at the age of 85 is completely normal. By the end of it, didn't you walk 30 miles a day for 10 days in a row?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I was trying to catch up with Newton.
Did you catch him?
No, he beat me by about 2 days.
So you just want to get some steroid injections to kind of hold you over?
Yeah, in both knees for the
Okay.
race, okay?
When are you leaving the U.S. to go over there?
Friday.
Friday? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're gonna go and spend a few days before the race
Okay.
in Gloucester.
Have you ever been there before?
No, I've been to England before, never been to Gloucester.
You're approved to go for a run. Good luck with everything. I hope you do well at the race. I think you'll probably do really well with these injections in there. And then when you're ready to run again, come back and I'll make sure you can do it, okay?
Outerwear, rain jackets, rain pants, which we'll probably need a lot of.
Make sure you put them cups in there.
Put the cups in there.
One for coffee maybe and one for soup.
Deborah Bell Barnes. I'm Jim Barnes' wife. We've been married 25 years. I started crewing for him before we ever got married, so I had a clue of what I was getting into, crazy as it is. I knew that he ran marathon. I did not know what a ultra marathon was. And when he told me that an ultra marathon was anywhere from 12 hours to 24 hours, 50 miles to 100 miles, my next question was, well, how do you stay awake? And he said, oh, the pain will keep you awake. And I immediately thought, oh my God, I thought this man was so nice. And now he has to be crazy because he's into pain.
So first, you just take one of these and cut the cloth off, get all the cloth off. But it usually leaves a ridge here, a hard ridge, so use the sander to smooth it out. Water bottle, frozen the night before, so it'll stay cool during the day. It's a custom-made shroud from a water bottle to collect the moisture you can use to wipe your face. It's the end of a sock that's worn out. The other end of the sock you save so you can put ice in it when you run, or if you don't want to sew it up, you can just put it over your wrist and use it to wipe the sweat off your eyes, so you use the whole sock.
Throughout his 35-year running career, he's been ranked #1 in the world at various times. All of those records have been broken. When he turned 85, he had the opportunity to move into a new age group, and now he has a new opportunity to set a world record.
Got a more detailed map of where everything's laid out.
This race in particular is a 48-hour event. So the runners go around a quarter of a mile oval track for 48 hours.
Charger, earbuds, phone, shoes. I'm probably going to run in these 2 pair, and these are for backup. These are my everyday shoes. For
The
backup.
current world record is 113.5 miles. So my dad's goal would be 113.6 miles or 114 miles, maybe more. Which of these is most important to you? Are you thinking like that at all?
48 hours. You know, this friend of mine, Newton Baker, called me up and he says, have you read DUV? DUV is a German running, but he keeps track of all the ultra runners in the world over a long period of time. And it ranks you by age group. He said, so they don't have your age in there, right? And it turns out I was #1 in the world that year for my age group, which totally blew my mind. And Newton's younger than me, so that moved me out of his age group and moved me up a spot. I did for it. I keep telling you, he just did that to get me out of his age group.
My dad has never run professionally. That's one of the things that makes him unique, is so it's kind of this tale of like an ordinary person doing this extraordinary thing. He's been resting, he's been training, he's completely invested and committed at doing the 114. We are headed to the Gloucester train station to pick up my oldest sister, Allison. She just flew in from Tampa, Florida to surprise my dad. I don't think she's ever been to one of his long races, so we'll see how this experience is for her, but we should be getting her in like a couple minutes.
I hope she's at the right train station.
You made it! Welcome to England. Finally, one wrong train, but I made it eventually. Love you.
I'm nervous. He has no idea I'm here.
Surprise! I thought you could use some extra crew. I gotta see you try to break this. I knew you was coming. I gotta see you try to break this world record. This has been under the work for a while. Yeah.
My name is Allison Barnes Burden. I am Jim's oldest daughter. Given his age and the fact that I've never been to one of his races, I thought this would be a great opportunity to go and see what it's all about and try to help if I can.
Deborah, do you want to talk crew strategy?
Yeah, we can talk. I get to be the boss. I just boss you around. Boss
That's the same as it
around.
always is, right?
That is correct. I'm Jim Barnes' wife.
Current wife.
I'm his current wife. I'm his last wife. I'm his end of the line wife. And I am typically his only crew. So I'm gonna have some help with this race, but we had to scale down everything to make this trip.
I'm nervous to be part of the crew. Usually in these races, I'm also participating. So being kind of on the sidelines and part of the crew is something I'm not used to. Hopefully no rain, because your feet start to get soggy.
I didn't know anything about blistering feet. You get these syringes that have little bitty small needles in them. And what you do is you draw the fluid out of your blister. You don't break your blister. And that way that skin still protects that area.
You gonna plan on sleeping at all?
Normally not that first 24 hours.
So you're gonna stay
I
up 24
usually
hours?
try and stay, because your dad normally will only take a 10-minute break every 10 miles.
Okay.
And that usually is every 3 hours. But he said yesterday when we were eating that he learned that they're going to switch directions every 4 hours. So he would change his breaks to every 4 hours.
A lot of it, I will follow in the footsteps of my stepmom, Deborah. She's done years and years of races with my dad, so I think she'll be like an invaluable person to follow in this.
Oh my God, it's just a circle. For 2 days, a circle. How you guys doing?
Let me get a photo, Dad.
This is the gentleman, this is the runner that broke my record.
Oh, no! Okay. You're responsible for all this.
We're making an Ensure and chocolate milk concoction.
Can I see
12.
what it looks like?
This side.
Put some water in there.
Not yet. I want you to mix that up.
Well, I gotta mix it again when you put the water in. Okay, I got the 2 things I need every morning to start this race and get me through the first 12 hours.
When I first met Jim, I was working a midnight shift in Anniston at a small pediatric unit. So runners are sort of like babies sometimes.
Do you have any like pre-race rituals? Like have to have 5 minutes of silence or?
No. I'm married to Deborah. Tricia.
This guy right here, have a discussion. Intense, or I will.
I'm finding out, and maybe you knew this, but they're telling me that splits won't count for records because they don't have a certificate.
I mean, it's a little bit disappointing to
Yeah. No,
fly all the
I
way over here
understand.
and find out that all this running that an 85
Yeah, I'm gonna get all of the
is
American.
going to be doing,
No,
it's not
I
going to count.
understand. Yeah, it's like I know what to say.
What are you trying for? 24, 48, 50, and 100.
Okay, and so he's saying that it's not going to count.
He's saying since they do not have a certificate, that it's not going to count.
So it's not
They are going to record 100-mile distance, but
Yeah, no.
he doesn't have a certificate for that either. An IAU certificate. Okay.
Right, but can you not get the certificate afterwards?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
I mean, that's how, hello, people.
Wouldn't have a race without the athletes, so it's really nice that you've all come and thank you very much. Crews, we've got 48 hours here, so you need to look after yourselves, to look after your runners. You won't be able to look after your runners if you're not in good shape, so look after yourselves.
Lap number 1 done.
Looking good.
So far, so good.
Looking good.
That's 38 laps. 38 laps. Need anything?
Hey, it's probably not going to count, just remember. What's the time for the record?
3:10:10.
Woohoo!
God, man. 3 hours and 47 laps. Yeah. Well, you have a lot to go. That's a lot more than that.
Chocolate milk. Nutrition time. Don't crash my bottle.
Okay.
Main thing that I try to do is to make sure that he's getting some kind of nutrition, because he'll get so focused that he don't want to eat anything. And once he gets to a certain point, he wants to drink water, and water has no nutrition in it. The first 24 hours, he will take only 10-minute breaks approximately every 10 miles. So the first 24 hours, I normally stay awake.
How's the course? Is it fun? Are you having fun yet?
Yeah.
Any of you will end up going to a store at any point?
Yes, we can help you.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you can't do it without a crew. She also helps the other runners, though. She's crewing for them, too, so everybody knows her.
Jade, whenever you make the store.
Yes, they're here.
Huh?
Yeah. They don't have support? No. They're here about instead.
Some real nutritional stuff.
Sugar for energy.
40 miles?
I asked her what's next, and she said longer ones.
50K, 50K.
Should be 120 something.
125. Yeah, that's the next one on the American.
Oh, so 15 laps up.
Yeah.
Okay.
48 hours, 76. 50 mile, 95. 100 miles, 67.
Well, it was a faster 50K than I ran.
You're doing
in
fast.
March.
Let's see your feet.
Most dangerous thing in the world for an ultra runner is a fart.
Okay.
I'm sweaty though.
I see the salt that's coming through you.
Multiply it by 3 and quit.
You're not a quitter, we know you.
To certify an IAU record, you need a IAU label for the race. You need 3 times actually off the distance, and then there's loads of paperwork to fill in.
Yeah, I'm Paul Roy, race director for the
got me 48-hour World Championships this year. Been running races since 2018. It's competitor myself. It's one way to stay in the sport if you can't run.
Good job, Dad.
Thank you.
50 miles, world record.
Woohoo!
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah! Woohoo! How do you feel?
Tired.
You're still walking.
Yeah, I gotta do a lot.
You're doing great.
It's a lot worse than I
Yeah. What are you doing now?
I'm now separating off the outer 3 lanes for the 24-hour race, so they're separate from the inner lanes for the 48-hour race. My name is Hilary Walker. I am going to be the chief referee for the 48-hour race. And I have a background of being an ultra runner myself, and I have alluded to the fact the last time I was at a 48-hour race was 35 years ago in 1988 in the UK, where I ran the then world record for ladies for 48 hours of 227 miles.
It's 14 degrees, which is good.
Massage?
Yes.
You've been highly recommended. Back, lower back, and shoulder. You can do anything you want. I'm starting to lean.
As older runners get a tendency to start leaning either front, backward, forward, or left or right. And once you start leaning, there's nothing you can do about it. You just start leaning. That really slows your progress down. That usually happens towards the end of a 24-hour or in the second day of a 48-hour run.
In these races, you have so many variables. Everything has to go completely perfect to set a world record.
Give him a 2 minutes. You're gonna do one more lap?
Pain that you need to stop, for me, is usually mechanical. Something's really gone wrong with a knee, ankle, just a pain in your shoulders or something like that. I mean, you just need to try and work your way through it if you can.
I'm not.
You're not? I think you need one. 3:39.
I'm at 3:30.
Yeah, the 48-hour pace is 276. 118 laps.
Yep.
Which is 29.5 miles. And he has 19 hours. That's fine.
He can totally do that. I'm just worried that he's looking a little worn down.
Yeah, he's looking rough.
And he won't take a break.
What do you want to take for you back?
In these races, you get in these moments where they might not be in the safest position, like they might be in pain. And as a crew, you have to decide, are they okay? Like, can they keep going? Like, how much can they take? And if you should encourage them or if you should encourage a break.
Hero, man. Absolute hero. A legend. Watching you today, man, it's amazing. You put so many people to shame. It's amazing.
I'm certified. I was going to say, between me and the race director, and I've got to be careful because I
I can't really be IAU at the time.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm race referee, me, and race director will sort of get these forms filled in and things. You should get it done.
Cool.
I was going to say,
Thank
I
you
say
so
still
much.
because I have to be
Thank
careful
you.
what I say.
Yeah.
We understand.
Close your eyes, go to sleep. You got 8 minutes.
No, I'm only going to take a 5-minute break.
What happened to
5 minutes isn't
5
enough.
minutes and then 4 laps. 5 minutes.
I like that. Okay.
To see him willingly doing something that is hurting him made me want to make him stop.
Okay. Gonna make these?
I have never told him he has to stop. I figure he's got most of the time good enough sense to figure that one out himself.
We'll take about a 10-minute break. 10-minute break, yeah. Start on the fast. Yeah. 3.
Makes you wonder sometimes, you know, on why you're doing this and what's in it and how's it going to help. I don't want to get into a lot of the deep emotional stuff.
To keep picking up the pace. Because that's the racing, obviously. I'd say, well done.
Fantastic.
37 hours, 46 minutes and 11 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. 37, 46, 11.
Woohoo!
You need to keep up. You're going to carry on and complete the lap? Yeah. Yeah.
Can I tell Deborah or is this a secret?
Don't tell her. We'll show her the pictures later. Congratulations.
It was such an inspiration last night. Really, you were like leaning and I was going. You did great.
Y'all did great. Best crew I've ever had. Thank y'all so much.
There he is. Woo!
3, 2, 1.
Jimmie did from America. He hit an 85. There you go, Jimmie. 85 years old.
If I know my dad, he's not going to give up. He's going to keep trying to do it, and he's just going to get out there, lace up his shoes with no toes, and keep on trucking.
What's your goal, Dad?
Survive.
Your goal is to survive.
Especially in this heat. New strategy.
So you're too fast.
Agony and defeat.
I think for my dad, he started running in isolation.
He even told me that he'd just get out on the road and go out there and run. And when you're out there running, no one can see you cry because you're by yourself and you're alone.
Yeah, but this is the one. This is it. This is it. Hey.
How you doing, Jimmy?
He's breaking a record. That's how he's doing.
Breaking the world record.
It's hard to heal in isolation. So I think we're built to heal in community, and he found that through the sport of running. So I think that's out there for all of us. Like, we can all find ways to heal in community, and sometimes we get lucky enough to find it.
Jimmie set a world distance record for his age group. 117 miles in 48 hours at 85.
Do you have any races planned